Hello survivors, welcome to a new The Spell Brigade video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the brand new update. Oh my goodness, it is actually quite exciting. The biggest thing is this over here, the covenants. What we've got going is the eternal bond. What it does is put us into an endless game mode. We've also got harmony pact, which means that you can no longer have friendly fire, which is, I don't know why anyone would pick this over the covenant. You know, honestly, who doesn't want to play with endless mode on? So we're going to be playing on the Frozen Ancients because there is brand new enemies as well. And let's get straight into it. We're playing on our favorite character, Hattie, of course, because Rune Burst is the strongest skill in the game. And the fact that we get Endless, which is going to be fantastic. So the game works essentially the exact same way that it always did. But now what it's going to do is allow us to keep going. There are a couple of things, so I did play Endless already to see, so we could test this. And the first thing is that relics do not respawn. You only get your 3 relics just like you do in a normal run. The only thing that does happen is you can keep getting augments for a weapon over and over again. So you're not really stuck to the 4 augments or 3 augments, 4 augments that you usually would get for a weapon. You can actually get 8, 12, however augments for that weapon as you would like to get, as many as you'd like to get. However, I do believe you can only get a specific amount of certain augments. So if you have an augment that is, let's say, additional projectiles, I don't believe there's a limit on that one, but let's say your projectiles are now shooting bursts, there will be a limit in that one. You will only be able to get that augment once. It kind of works the same way as it did previously. So if you could never get an augment twice before, you won't be able to get it twice now. So just so you do know, that is how it works. We also get a nice little solar pulse over there, which is really good. That's going to help us with the early clear. Not that we actually needed it, but you know, it's helpful. So new enemies were introduced into the game. That's why we're playing on the Frozen Wasteland. It is a little shrimp. I say a little shrimp, they're actually quite cool little enemies, which is really cool. It's nice that they've added a little bit of variety. They will be adding new enemies as the game keeps progressing into its 1.0 release. So we're still in early access. The game is still really enjoyable. Obviously a lot more enjoyable multiplayer because, you know, you get to kill your friends, or, you know, at least you have to use a revive on them because you downed them with your skills. That's why the friendly fire one, I don't know, I'd rather go into co-op endless than go into a co-op game where you can't hurt each other. So, you know, just because of that, personally, Covenant is the endless Covenant is what I'm going to be focusing on forever. Okay, we're going to grab a little bit of damage for the solar pulse. I don't really care too much about spell size. We won't be worried about that. Again, like I mentioned, if you want to do endless, you're going to be able to get all of these augments anyway, so it doesn't really matter on whether or not it works that way. Let's go and get ourselves the golden crab. A nice, easy first objective. A crab. Which we could instantly kill if we just get the exploding guy on him, but that's not necessary either. Ooh. Ow, that hurt. Okay, so in Endless you'll see, or I hope you don't see because I don't actually want to get hit, but you'll notice that the enemies do land up getting tougher and tougher as you progress through it. So don't expect to not lose a life if you get hit by something, especially now you can see they're already hitting hard. And just imagine that they're going to be hitting even harder once you get to the endless levels. Alright, he's dead. We have one single reroll if I don't like what we're getting. But of course, as you can see, we've only got 2 skills. So we're always going to get Rune Burst. I think having Covenant, I actually don't know if you need to unlock it in some way, manner, shape or form. Because I have everything unlocked already. I probably had it unlocked automatically. But regardless of that, if you have some of the objectives to do, like getting a 4 Rune Burst augments and things like that, but this is the easiest way to do it, is through Endless, because now all you have to do is go into Endless and you got Endless augments. So there's definitely a chance you're going to land up getting it. So that's one way of doing it. We did get the lightning augment as well, which is huge. We want the luck first. We might be able to get delayed fate, but we want to get as much luck. If we could cap our luck before we get delayed fate, then that would be huge. We'd land up with 30 something odd luck, which is massive. But otherwise we are going to struggle because delayed fate Obviously gives you a certain amount of luck. We're going to take that Wizard's Edge. That's beautiful because we will eventually get crit. And yeah, so luck is capped. And if you take Delayed Fate too early, that 10 luck that you otherwise could have got from passives, that won't show anymore once you hit a certain amount of luck. So you want to try and get to the soft cap, or the hard cap, sorry, as quickly as possible, so that Delayed Fate can surpass that cap for you. Dodge, also extremely good for Endless. If you can hit the 88% dodge chance and you get the relic that heals you when you dodge, that is also one way of surviving in the Endless game mode. A lot of people know about this already because they were doing it, but bam, I have 0 armor, so we kind of died there. This is hardcore after all, so we do have to be very, very careful. It's been a good time. We did skip the last update because it was a new character called Aldrich, who starts off with Aether Beam and is more of a supporting character, and because I don't really play multiplayer that much, we kind of skipped over the character and that update. It was literally just an update to the character. Some of the skills got a bit of an update to them, like changes, like Falling Star. It lost a little bit of damage on its explosion, but apparently its base damage got increased. To me personally, it doesn't feel any better. If you don't use the explosive damage, the skill itself doesn't feel too good. So the fact that they've nerfed the part about the skill that felt really good feels kind of bad. Alright, so we're going to grab ourselves Magic Missile, just because it's stronger than all the other ones over there. I know I love Necro Whirl as well. It is a very strong skill, but Magic Missile just hits what's right in front of us, where Necro Whirl is quite random. There's the new enemy though. We got a little bit of prawns following us, or shrimps, whatever you want to call them. I'll call them shrimps. I think they're shrimps. So now we've got a bunch of shrimps following us. If you turn around, they kind of stop following you and they become these balls like an armadillo, and they do take a lot more, you know, hits to kill. So they gain like armor, I guess. They become armored shrimps. That's what they're called. They're called armored shrimps from now on. Alright, we're gonna grab the armor, and we are gonna hope and pray we get joint protection, because that's gonna be the best defense we can get. That's armor based on level, and that should put us in a good spot, at least defensively, for a little bit, because eventually things just hit you so hard anyway, it doesn't really matter. Defense, I mean, XP wise, we could grab that, but we're gonna grab the decreased spell cooldown, just because it's really good. And we need to kill more. We're just not dealing enough damage right now. Not yet, at least. Rune Burst needs to shoot out in bursts. I don't want to lose another life. Alright, time for our next augment. I'm going to grab the increased life. And we just mustn't get the 6 levels. And we can also look for the relic now. While we destroy everything. Oh, took a little bit of damage there. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Let's start at the top left. I am keeping my eyes out to see if eyes open. Sorry, keeping my eyes out. Yeah, pop them out of my head, everyone, just so we could see what's happening. But usually the objectives land up sitting over here inside the slow zones, which always gets me into trouble. Okay, it wasn't there this time. Is it this side? No, it is not. I mean, that's a good thing though, but it's a bad thing at the same time. Alright, 3 of the statues over here. That's really good. But we are losing out on XP because we have to run around so much to try and find this relic. Alright, casts in burst, that is fantastic. So now we're going to have a whole lot more of them running around. Here's the relic as well, which is great. It's not in us or over us, so we can break it and get it very quickly. Do we find Delayed Fate? We do indeed. We need to try and get luck before we get more of it. So we need to try and get 10 luck from level ups before we level up more. Does that make sense? So if we find a rare or epic luck, we will be grabbing it over everything else. just because it's going to be putting us in a better spot. I do want that decreased cooldown, but that dodge legendary is a massive upgrade for us. And also I just want to let you guys know we're only going to do one endless cycle just so you can see what it's like. And I believe I said this in the beginning of the video, but just in case I didn't, because you know time's already passed, I actually can't remember, but only the augments get re-rolled. You can't, when you go into endless, if you've picked up all of the relics, you're not going to find more relics. So even in endless mode, you're not going to find more than the 3 relics that you can get during the gameplay. So it's a bit unfortunate, but I do know it's going to be way too strong if you can have all of it. So it makes a lot of sense. Imagine you had every single relic in the game. You would just be too powerful. That's a massive increase to base cooldown over there. I love to see that. And let's keep going. We're going to try and make the most powerful rune burst in a single endless run. I think it's doable. Increased dodge. We might have to go for the dodged heals us, because as you can see we've already lost another life. Might as well just use it. Use it very badly, as you can see. We did dodge there, which was massive. And even more dodge. I'm taking these dodge. These dodge upgrades are going to be what saves my life. Because as you can see, I'm playing way too risky. Actually, how much dodge are we on? We're on 35% dodge chance. Like I mentioned, there is a cap of 88%, so we've got a long way to go. 50% is a good amount to get to, because then there's literally a 1-to-1 chance of you being hit or not. Anything below that is, you know, obviously below that. Would like to see more damage upgrades for Rune Burst right now. Also, they did apparently buff these. They made them so that they deal more damage, but I think they made it so that they go on cooldown for longer, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that they buffed the, you know, the hazards of the actual realm or the level. There's our increased damage. That's pretty cool. We do need more crits, because you can see the crits are making a big difference over here. And there's our new objective, retrieve the fungi. That's actually a really good objective to get. So we just need to run around and collect stuff again. Which is great, because everything else is kind of rough. I don't think we would have survived a Seal the Rift or a Sacrifice right now. Okay, I think Astral Orbs is also pretty decent. It's not the greatest, it's not the worst though, so we're happy to get it. If we don't get a final augment being the Rune Burst as well, like I mentioned, it doesn't really matter. We are in endless mode. Of course it matters, because we want to have all of them being Rune Burst, so it matters in that case. But in terms of like endless and oh, you don't get it, because you get endless, it doesn't matter. You are going to get it even if it's through the next cycle, or whatever the case may be. So you'll definitely get more projectiles, don't stress too much about it. I need to find 6 more fungi. Come on, we should be able to find them. Beautiful legendary cooldown reduction over there. I would like to see locks in this game. I'm sure I've said that before, but I want to see the ability to lock some passives in place. So let's say you do get 2 legendaries and you want both of them. You could spend, you know, even if it's you spending some of your HP to lock it. If they feel like no, being able to lock passives is just too way powerful, bring a negative to it. So you have to spend your HP to lock it, or whatever the case may be. So here we're going to reroll. We do want our Rune Burst. So there we go. We cast a projectile. Fantastic. Had to reroll. We did take a lot of damage over there. So we are going to have to play a little bit more defensive. Or at least look for life or something to try and not die. We did get the legendary health regen though. So that is going to help us get our life back. I just need to just be careful, because this area can kill us quite easily if I'm not careful. and our damage, even with all of these projectiles, isn't massive, which I need it to be. Alright, spell cooldown. We do get a luck upgrade. That's going to put us at 25, which will be one of the very close to the limit. So I need one more luck, a 4 plus. So rare or higher luck, please. Next level, I will take that over anything, just so that we don't limit ourselves to 28. I think 28 was the soft cap. And when I say soft cap, it's because you can get delayed fate to increase it. It's not a hard cap. But what I mean by soft cap is that you're no longer going to find the luck upgrades once you hit a certain number, which is 28. And the same actually works for dodge and also armor. I believe armor is 300, but it actually could be a lot lower. I don't remember the exact number. Alright, we're going to go and increase our damage. Getting legendary damage is massive over here because that's what I said we're missing. We're just missing that big damage, which we need. Also, getting legendary XP will be fantastic here as well. So if we can pop a legendary XP, I will take that. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like they removed the XP from these explosion guys. I used to always get XP from them, but as soon as you go into the endless mode, or as soon as you'll see that whenever you notice it, there was a time there as well where we just blew one up and it was on its own and we got 0 XP from it. So I don't know if that's something new, like a little hidden update that they did to those characters or to those enemies, or if I'm just seeing things and it's always been that way. You can let me know down in the comment section. Alright, so this is a very difficult one. We're going to die for this, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We need to grab it. We might not even die for it, but it's not looking very good for us. Joint protection, so we get the armor. Can this guy give us an escape route? Probably. In some way, shape, or form. Maybe there's a way out of this. Yes, we lived, holy moly. The dodge came in clutch over there. We made it out alive. And now we need to seal the rift. I have no idea how we're going to do this, but I don't think we're going to be able to. This is on hardcore. Maybe if you played on severe, this would be a lot easier. But because I'm a madman and I enjoy suffering, we're playing this on hardcore. Luckily, a lot of the enemies are above us. And we're also on the part where it doesn't, there's no ice. So we did actually get quite a good rift over here, where the entire thing isn't on ice. So as you can see, it definitely makes it easier to survive this. So close, man. Alright, we're gonna have to run around. We should be able to get it though. I don't have life to re-roll my skills though. Another dodge, that's beautiful. I think we're actually on a really good dodge amount right now. I need to get back to seal that rift because as you can see it slowly starts to time out. We need to get there. Okay, I think that should be enough. Yes, we did do it. Thank goodness. We managed to get it without it being a problem. Do we get the... Oh, at least I had some life, so we could reroll. We get cast an additional projectile. So, you know, like I mentioned, if you don't want to spend your life because it is hardcore and, you know, you've already spent 2 revives or whatever the case may be and you're worried about it, like I said, because we're in endless, you're more than welcome to not do that. You can just go for the augments that will help you in that case. If you can't reroll, don't reroll. In my case, we were lucky enough to be able to reroll even though we nearly died. Somehow we healed back all of that life by the time we needed it, which is fantastic. And we got exactly what we needed. So now the next round, as soon as we get there, we're actually going to be able to completely destroy the endless. think the only thing I might like is, the only thing I don't like about the Endless is it literally starts from the beginning. So the enemies don't give you a lot of XP. Whereas if you look at Soulstone Survivors, their Endless mode, you're actually fighting a lot more elites when you go into their Endless mode. So the game starts off with a lot of elites. You don't start off with the lower enemies from the very beginning of the Endless game mode. Where this one you start off with the cycle being exactly how it was where you start off a brand new game. So it's a little bit different. It does hurt your XP gain as well. So you'll notice when you go into the Endless that your XP gain is very, very low compared to when you like left it. So now we're getting all that juicy purple XP. Whereas as soon as we hit Endless, we're going to go back to the very low. Oh my goodness, we're in a very bad spot here. Alright, nice dodge, thank goodness. Increase the spell damage. We haven't even infused our Rune Burst twice, which is really bad. Gonna just grab this, which is a bit risky, but we should be fine. We nearly weren't fine. Decrease the spell cooldown, I will take that. We got another level. Increase the spell range, I'll take that as well, because range is actually very, very helpful for the skill. And how much damage are we even doing now? Not a lot. But just look at our skill. We are raining rune bursts. Alright, we got another prawn over there trying to kill us. We're going to grab the Titan's Fury, because that was 470 to 510 as a damage. So quite a lot of damage increase over there, which is great to see. And let's see what else we can get going over here. Kill more prawns. Again, if you turn around, you can see they just stop running. That's actually quite cool because you can just turn around and they'll stop chasing you in case you're worried something might happen. But there we go. Do we get acid? We do indeed. So we're going to grab the Sulfur Storm, the best possible solution for our Rune Burst, specifically as a spell. Rune Burst works super well with Sulfur Storm. And we're in a very bad situation here. Oh, goodness. Or we managed to make it out, I think. Yes, we did. That was close. Probably made it out because of dodge. If not anything else. Maybe infusing Solar Pulse with Ice would be very, very good for us. But otherwise, we're in a very interesting situation. Just going to increase damage over there. Alright, time to kill the boss. We also got our last relic to get. Now, what happens is the game doesn't like reload the map or anything. So even though we do have a relic still to get, if we don't find it now, we will still find the final relic in the next cycle or the next time we go into the Endless or whatever, because all it does is just respawn enemies from the beginning and start the timer of the round again in that kind of way. So the relic will still show on the map. We just need to find it. So you don't have to worry about finding all the relics. If you don't find them, you will be able to still get them in Endless. I can confirm this because it happened to me. But you are only able to get the same amount of relics you can, in a normal game versus the Endless game. So if you can't get the relic for the final boss when it spawns, like now, like me, I'm struggling to get it. Don't worry too much about it. You will be able to get it eventually when things get a little bit easier again. And now we don't even need to worry about running away or anything like that because, we've got the Endless run anyway. So all those lovely people that loved to play Endless, there you go. Look at that. The game just goes on and on again. So we're just going to do one more round, just so we can see how ridiculous we can get some of the Rune Burst to get, see how many projectiles we can add to it, or see what the game gives us in terms of Rune Burst upgrades, see what the next upgrade actually is, because all 4 of them were that. Also, you do have to kind of clear out all these guys. They won't disappear on their own. Grab the decreased cooldown. And once they are all dead, we should be good to freely move around without worrying. It's just you 2 left. Come on, just you. Just you big crab. There we go. Alright, so now you'll see we start getting far less XP. But now we have a lot more freedom to go find that relic wherever it may be. Let's just check this side. I don't think it was down here because I'm sure we came this way with the boss. Hopefully we didn't accidentally destroy it. So I'll keep my eyes out for the relic as well as for the actual icon that it creates. Increased max life. We will actually grab that. It was legendary. Just lets us take an extra hit maybe. Some XP laying around over there. You can see the range on the skill does make quite a big difference as well. And the one thing about Endless is if you don't die, you don't die. It just keeps going on and on and on. Do we find the relic anywhere? We only picked... oh, there we go. There it is. So like I said, there's your relic. You're able to find them anyway. Alright, we've got hard lesson. Increase your pickup distance each time you infuse a spell. Increase your armor each time you successfully complete an objective. That is actually massive. The reason it's massive is because, you know, technically we're going to have endless amount of objectives. So it's 4 per round. That's 40 armor every single endless cycle. And then also we're getting the armor from our level ups as well because of joint protection. So that's really, really good. It also works retroactively. So we should have got 40 armor there from that, which is actually massive. So we should actually be on 200 and something armor. Yep, we are. Look at that. 202 armor. And now we get a really easy seal the rift because we are so strong. Everything dies really quickly right now. So being the objective very first works perfectly for us. Nice time to have got it. A sacrifice would have been better though because we would have been able to kill things even faster. Actually, I don't know. We might have killed things too quickly for a sacrifice. But there we go. Let's see if we get the right augments. We don't. We've been having really terrible luck with this. Alright, there we go. Cast an additional projectile. We've had to use so much life to get projectiles, but it looks beautiful. And we're going to just keep getting more and more and more projectiles. So there you go. That's a good example of how you can get your augments for the runic burst if you don't have them. They might have made it so it doesn't actually work that way. Maybe you don't get the augment or the objective. Maybe it has to be in a single run. And they've disabled it for endless. But also please note, look, you can let me know about this. We did speak about it earlier in case you skipped over that part. Because I know, guys, even I do. We skip through YouTube videos sometimes. And we miss quite some things. But if you are on this section, as you can see, these guys are no longer dropping XP. I don't know if that's maybe a bug or if they've always been like that. Like I mentioned, I did skip a update or two since we last played. But now that we're back and we're trying this, I don't see them dropping XP. They did drop XP in the first cycle, but now all of a sudden they're not dropping anything anymore. Also, gameplay-wise, because we no longer have to run around for the relics or anything like that, we can try and stay in a safer place. And all we literally have to do is kill things before they get to us, which is what we're doing. But it does make the XP gain, like I mentioned, a lot slower, because we don't have those enemies dropping the purple XP orbs. But it should come very, very soon, and then we start getting more and more XP. I don't know how long I could last for. I'm not really worried too much about that. All I want is as many rune burst projectiles as possible. So now that I know that that's exactly what that game is going to give us, we're only going to be getting a rune burst projectiles now. Each skill is different. We did try it with the blade, the arcane broadsword, and what it did is it kept giving us when you're standing still, you deal more damage. So the arcane broadsword gives you damage by standing still. That's what you get as an augment for endless. So personally, not really like a favorite. I would rather go for a different weapon to focus on. Rune burst is additional projectiles, so that's quite a fun one. I would love to try out Scepter Mesh. I don't know if you guys want to have a look at that one and see. Oh, actually, Scepter Mesh has increased projectile as one. You're just going to make, you know, draw a picture on the screen with it. It could actually be the most destructive and disruptive skill in the game because of the way that it works. It could actually cause a lot of visual issues for us. Also, what is my crit sitting at? 28% crit chance only. You definitely need to work on that. Alright, so they did. Let's keep going. Okay, just by the way, we got touched once. And look how much damage they did. And we have like 220 armor. So just please bear in mind, if you get hit, you're gonna have a really horrible time. So try your best not to get hit. Like I mentioned, if you get the dodge relic, you might want to grab it, just because the healing one. So every time you dodge, it heals you. We might not be able to get a rune burst upgrade over here because we don't have the life to re-roll. So we've had to re-roll twice every single time just to get it, and now we got hit real hard. So we may not have the life to get it this time, but it's okay, it's not the end of the world. I just want as many projectiles as possible. Let's see. Okay, we want rune burst only, don't care about anything else. We don't even have one more re-roll, so that's really unfortunate. You take less damage when the enemies are inside your spell area. That's pretty good actually for Endless, since it gives us a little bit more defenses. So now we take less damage by enemies that hit us. The only thing is that's not the ranged enemies. So the enemies that shoot us will still do full damage, but everything else will deal less damage to us, which is fantastic. Except the boss when he drops a tomb on our face, of course. It doesn't, right now, it doesn't feel like the enemies are that much stronger. I don't know, oh my goodness. I don't know what happens with the scaling. It might get like completely out of control at later stages. The last time I played, we did 3 or 4 cycles before. I'm going to go and increase the size so we can get an infusion. I guess we'll go with fire. It's not really the end of the world, but I would have liked something other than that. Like ice would have been very, very good. But we don't have fire on anything, so the extra damage is welcomed. Just got to make sure that we don't get hit. Because even with all of our armor, we are still getting hurt real hard. That is so bad, being there like that. Those guys could have killed us so quickly. Alright, we can actually reroll here. We can actually reroll again. I'm gonna take the decreased spell cooldown. I don't know what to do right now. I guess we should go and get more levels into our solar pulse, just so we can get it up and running properly. Increase its area of effect. I wonder what upgrades you could get for this, because most of them are meant for like multiplayer. So what, is it going to keep giving you the defense one? But then what? How does that actually even work? Because if it works as a stacking percentage, that could be very, very good. Especially if you like max out dodge, get a lot of armor, and then you keep getting that it deals less damage to, you know, from enemies inside of the circle. That kind of means you could become invulnerable, but I doubt it works that way. Would be very interesting to know how it would work with things like that. But I don't think the developers will give us an answer, unfortunately. They'd probably want us to test it out ourselves, and there's no real way to test it unless you just play it and then see. But you'd have to go into Endless, take a hit, see how much damage it does, then get the augment, see how much damage you take from a hit from that as well. Also considering how much armor and everything you have as well. But that's a bit easier because the armor is flat damage reduction, so it's easy to take that into consideration. However, we don't know what the damage reduction for the solar pulse augment actually is in terms of numbers. Or at least I don't. If you do, you can let me know down in the comments section. Yo, let's go. Oh my goodness, that guy does so much damage. I did not expect that. 1000 damage from his one hit. Okay, what did we get? Hunt down the golden crab. Okay, that's a very possible one to do, thank goodness. Alright, so the enemies are definitely on crack. That guy, even though he was right next to us, which means that the solar pulse did have the damage reduction, he still dealt 1600 damage. So that's pretty insane that these guys are doing so much damage to us, even when they are, you know, not supposed to be. Run away. At least we don't have to go around looking for relics. I just need to kill this crab, which I can't even get close to. I had a much better time with the sword when I was playing with it, unfortunately. I do have to say that the sword felt a whole lot stronger for endless. So even though rune burst is really, really cool, I don't think it's the be all end all. Let's see, he's got 10k HP instead of like 2000. We can increase our dodge even more, so we're on 52%. And again, we don't get the upgrade. There we go, cast an additional projectile. See, the problem is there's only so many projectiles that are going to hit an enemy. Although we got the burst as well, so there's a lot of projectiles on the screen right now from rune burst. I definitely need to try other ones and see which is going to be my favorite. I think Scepter Mesh is probably going to be it though. But there's a whack ton of bursts over there. What's these guys? They look like they have very similar HP than what they have during the normal gameplay as well, so they do die relatively quickly. That will probably change the further you go into the game as well, but for now they seem to be okay in terms of HP scaling. But their damage scaling, ooh, that goes through the roof, even though we have the armor, the 2 armor upgrades. Doesn't matter how much armor you have, if you don't have the life to sustain that one hit that they do, you're going to instantly die anyway. So unless you have like 1000 armor, you can say goodbye, and that's not even possible because armor has a hard soft cap as well. So good luck to you. Guess we'll go and level up some Astral Orb as well. Slow on Astral Orb, but the Ice Augment isn't going to be that good. I need to actually go get 6 more levels into the Solar Pulse over there. But I don't think there's 6 more levels left. Oh, actually there could be. Because we're just going to get the bigger and bigger enemies as it is. We still got 1 more revive. We got our revive back, which is really good because we're going to need it. We managed to kill that guy before he even got to us, which is also really good. You know, if we do that much damage, it's really, really good for us. There's going to be a big explosion over here. Don't get the Astral Orb, so we'll just go for Rune Burst spell cooldown. I mean the Solar Pulse. Astral Orb, honestly, what's wrong with me? Let's just run around over here, take the gap, get into a safe position. Kill these guys because they're going to give us grief. There's a damage increase for Solar Pulse. That's good because we now need 5 more levels in it. definitely have the damage, so it's not like it's a damage problem, which is good. It's just I'm not getting the upgrades problem. I'm going to grab the legendary spell range over there. That's definitely going to help us, as you can see. Because if we can pop these guys earlier without them coming close to us, we can definitely live longer. Even everything else as well. Retrieve the mushrooms, fantastic. We're also full life, so we can lose some life to grab ourselves some more additional projectiles. I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, how many additional projectiles is it? It's actually 6, correct? By the time that we do all of the objectives, we should have 6 additional projectiles. Do want that. But I think that's the is pick you up, and then there is the last objective over here. Ooh, legendary veil of haste. How much cooldown are we sitting on? I don't know, the game doesn't want me to know. Alright, another rune burst, rune burst projectile. We're sitting on 73% cooldown reduction. I'm going to grab the critical strike chance over there as well, because that's going to be big. But that was the final augment, ladies and gentlemen. We are sitting on, what is that? 4, 5, 6 additional projectiles, which is actually pretty insane. Going to reroll, maybe we can still get something. Nope, we will take the spell size though, that's fine. And we've actually been picking up a lot of legendaries, even though we only got 28 luck. So, again, not really the greatest in terms of luck amount, but we lucked out. There's not much you can really do about that. Also, dodge was not nearly enough. 52% is not nearly enough for what we needed. But again, that's all RNG. So without a good RNG, you're not going to get that bonus dodge. I mean, we did take everything except for like 1 or 2 of the common ones. So it is what it is. We're going to grab spell cooldown. We're very close to the +2 to the 3 more levels we need. I mean, we still could get it if we let the boss run around and not kill him, but I don't think that's gonna last very long with the range and amount of projectiles we have spewing. Spell damage, sure, we'll take that, why not? Now if you see a huge white number, yeah, 634 damage. So Astral Orb's dealing the same amount of damage that a single rune burst is doing. The only difference is we have 18 rune bursts around us. Well, actually more, because it's 6 additional projectiles. So it was originally 4. So we got 10 times about 3 because of the burst. So we actually got 30 rune burst projectiles around us, which is pretty insane if my maths is, you know, correct. Pretty insane amount of projectiles over there. Huge legendary Titan's Fury. That's massive, actually. As you can see now, we don't even need to move to kill things. I guess that's also another thing. We didn't really get a lot of Titan's Furies, and those do make a massive difference to the amount of damage you can do. A lot of spewing enemies, so we've got to kind of deal with them as well. Increase our dodge again. And as long as we're near a weak enemy, as long as we walk past them, they should pretty much quickly die. So we don't even need to worry about them hitting us or anything like that. Another massive Titan's Fury, let's go game. Where were these last round when I was struggling? No, the game's like, no, broken, the game's nearly over for you. You know, we know you only want to do one cycle of endless, so we're going to give you everything you dreamed of right now. So, oh my goodness. Everything you could hope and dream for in terms of general stats, we're just going to give it all to you now so that you don't have to worry about it. And then next time you play, you're never going to see those stats again broken. That's what the game's saying to me right now. We don't... Do we need crit still? Guess it doesn't really matter. We'll go for the damage over there. Everything's just dying. Boss should be spawning very, very soon. But we have so many projectiles right now. 30 rune burst projectiles. Pretty insane. We do take that epic crit. I mean, 9% is a massive difference. That puts us onto 43% from 34, which is actually huge. So I'm happy to grab that. As you can see, our dodge is coming in handy over there as well. So we didn't even take damage. And boss is sitting on 396,000 HP. I wonder how quickly we will kill him. Unfortunately, the one thing I do see is I don't... Oh, it actually does. Every single rune burst is hitting the boss as well. So that's a lot of damage you can see on his name right there. Which is fantastic because that's exactly what we need to do to kill him as quickly as possible. It's pity we couldn't get more relics. I would have liked to have seen some. Maybe they need to add it, but there's a negative to them as well. So add new like endless relics where there will be a negative impact to them as well. In the endless mode. And you can only find those relics once you enter endless. So maybe like one relic per endless cycle. I don't know. Just something I'm thinking of. Alright, we get lightning astral orbs. That's pretty decent as well. I mean, they do a lot of damage anyway. But that's all I'm going to do for today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to land up ending the round here. You can see just how much damage things do. But look at the dodge, how it really makes a huge difference over here. I wonder how long it's going to take us just to kill ourselves, just to lose the round. But as you can see, it's not working very well. We also got ourselves to 97% cooldown reduction. Really, really cool. And just a beautiful setting. I don't think we're going to die right now. This is a problem. I need to run into the enemy. Do those sulfur vents hurt us? Let's go see. They do. Huh, I can do this. I mean, besides for the fact that we dodged all of that, but they do indeed hurt us, which is good. Stop healing me. Why is it so hard to end this round? I just want to end it by standing on a vent or something. Come on, do damage, do damage, do damage. I guess there is a problem with having too much dodge chance. Okay, there we go, one got through. Another one. There we go. Good, good, good. This one should do more damage. 98. There we go. We're actually healing a whack ton. There we go. Fantastic. Except we had to laugh. Let's go away from him. He doesn't... That was a lot of damage it did to us, actually. But luckily he doesn't get one tapped, so we could... Luckily he doesn't get one tapped, so there we go. Fantastic. It's so hard to end the round that way. But there we go. Mission stats. Done and dusted. We didn't even have that much. I mean, our dodge was only 56%. So you can see just how crazy dodge actually works there for yourselves. Crit was really, really low. 97% increased cooldown reduction. Not even a lot of XP gain. I think last time I had 97% XP gain, which was massive. And we dealt 14 million damage with a 5.8k DPS on the rune burst. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.